I can.
You can?
Yep.
Next one, please.
There is a bit of a light here too.
Oh,
There we go.
Okay, got it. Okay, first of all, Google view of our watershed. This is the north, south, Canal Flats is here, and not shown here, but the Kootenai River comes out behind the next range of mountains and flows to the south. This on the east side is the there's a new provincial park here is Columbia Lake Provincial Park. Just to the south of that is Nature Conservancy of Canada, has some land there, and there's some wildlife protection areas down here. So by and large, all of the east coast of the lake is protected. There's on the west side is quite different. We have the railroad right along the lake shore. We have the Highway 93, 95 going up there and then heading north to Invermere. And there's a substantial number of cabins, particularly up in this area here. Now, the East Coast being protected, there's a riparian area along here. There are wetlands at the north, which are good habitat areas for wildlife and aquatic species, and similarly down at the south end. On the west coast, it's entirely different. The railroad is pretty well removed all of the riparian areas, and on top of that, the cottage owners, well, they haven't helped any. Let's put it that way. And now, in addition to that, there are economic activities taking place, of course. Up here, we have the Hot Springs Resort. There's a lot of rafting in this area, leaving the lake and going downstream. There's marinas here, they're private marinas, one there, one down here, and this one down here is the only public one on the lake. And there's a couple of farms here, one there and one up there, and they both use irrigation. So I think you can see, as in most watersheds, there's a conflict between those who want to protect the environment and those who want to do the development. And of course, there's a lot of boat owners on the lake who have their own interests as well. So with that in mind, back in 2000, I should go back, in 1997, there was a lake management plan set up to manage the lake. And at that time, one of the things they indicated was there was water coming out of Dutch Creek, but there's no measuring, no flow measurements taken on Dutch Creek. The only flow measurements were on the outlet on the Columbia River here. So in order to, they recognized that Dutch Creek was an important contributor, but they didn't know what how it operated, and they, or how much water was coming out, and they went and transposed Toby Creek to the north, which is far to the north, and used that. As a result, that they found that there was more flow coming in here than was going out, and they assumed that all this excess water was being absorbed into the ground. Anyway, in 2014, when we formed, we recognized the problems that existed, and we put in monitoring networks to monitor the flow into the lake here on the Dutch Creek. Outflow here is the station that was there before the 50 years record had been dismantled, so we reconstructed that. And we put in a lake level monitoring system there, and sort of a rudimentary one down in here. And over, in addition to that, we realized that there was water coming through underneath Canal Flats from the nearby Kootenai River. Pardon me? 1 minute, okay. Okay, anyway, if you want to learn something about what's taking place down there, talk to Ed Gilmore, because he looked on that. He's managed to combine his hobby with his specialty as a hydrogeology to come up with some measures of flow coming in. And since I have 1 minute left, I want to say with the 4 years of monitoring that we've have under our belt, we've been able to recognize that The lake actually rises during the year by about 1 meter, but it's not coming from the flow down here. The flow coming through here is steady, maintains a base flow, which persists from about November through to April. The rise in the lake level is coming from Dutch Creek. Normally, that November to April period, it bypasses the lake, but when the flow increases, it comes down here, flows into the lake, and the lake becomes effectively a reservoir, and then it recedes as the season progresses. So that's been a major finding, and that's the sort of information that will be useful in the future as we, first of all, we got to get the lake management strategy revised, and it'll be useful to bring the two opposing sides together so they'll never agree, but it'll at least provide some fact for them to negotiate with.
How much does the temperature vary in the summer?
The lake temperature? It's not uncommon to, well, certainly not uncommon to reach 25 or 20 degrees up in here, and sometimes 25. Down here where the water's coming through, we're barely just above 10.
Thank you, Bill. We're all really lucky to have